Hi everybody, sorry I'm late. the bathroom's over the river and through the woods. um how is everybody? Boy, there's a lot of you in here already. Sorry I made you wait. I'm telling you. Where's the professionalism? Apparently not, there isn't any around here. Just teasing. So this is something that I have actually wanted to talk to everybody about for a long time. And it just happened to work out that today was the day. Um, and so let's say some quick highs. Uh-oh. I need to shut those off. Do. Let's see. Jeremy, is that button in the middle that's true to life for you, isn't it? Which one? It's all in the game. I don't know. Yes, I have gas. It's true to life. Oh, that's hilarious. Hi, Jeremy. How are you? Hi, Kathy. Hi, Karen. You're off this week. Do I catch you live? Woohoo! Denise, how are you? How are you? And let's see, Cookies Girl Sherry, how are you? And we have Anna digging Dawson finds. We have April from Green Mosaic. Thank you. I'm going to be late. I was late. Hi, Barbara. I hope if you guys were with Donatella and T, you're supposed to stay over there, buy their stuff, and then come back over. But if you weren't, this is great. Hi, Siggy. How are you? Jack and Piper are here. Actually, it's just one person. And Kathy and Vintage Huntress. How are you? Let's see. Miss Amy is here. Oh, Amy, I got something to show you. I'll send you a picture. And we have, let's see, Lori. Oh my goodness, I need help. Michelle, how are you doing? Kelly Debs. I'll get it right. Jupiter 51, your name is Lori. We've got Lori's, we've got Amy's, you name it. Oh, I'm trying to be Kevin. Commonwealth picker. Chicago. Hi, Whitney. Whitney gets first dibs on all the pins. Whitney is my son's girlfriend, my youngest son Ryan's girlfriend. Ethel, I'm so glad you're here. And Glenn, how are you today, buddy? Have either one of you girls talked to Doug? Let me know. Woohoo, yeah. Whitney collects buttons like crazy. She's not, I don't, you're not so much so after the, there's some really cool buttons on this thing. I am going to see if I can turn off notifications. There we go. Then we won't have to see this. I went to an estate sale today. Go figure. Anyway, they had this. Do you guys see this? This is a yardstick. That's how big this thing is. So it is 3x2. That's what I said. The cool thing is there's a really cool corkboard back behind here, but he only wanted $10 for this, $10 for the whole thing, and I couldn't believe it. And I'm going to bring the camera over. I'm going to try to bring it as close as I can so that we can look at as many of these buttons as we can. And then they had, this is hilarious, 2 bags, $2 each. So I don't remember the exact, I put some links down in the description for some different articles and stuff on, make sure I don't miss any. Hi, Nancy. I missed you. I see you there. She snuck in. On the history of vintage pinback buttons and pins. And so, and it's actually quite interesting if you've never delved into it, but I will make my money back on this and these in one pin. Do you guys do? I bet you can sell just one. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And then, well, we'll talk about that in a minute here, but oh yeah, I've been I pick buttons up whenever I see them, and I literally, you shouldn't be selling any of them, in my opinion, for under $10. I don't list anything for under $14.99 anymore. Even if everybody else is selling it for less, I list it for $14.99. I have best offer. I don't do free shipping. And so 9 times out of 10, I make more than most people do on my pins. You've done very well with pins. It's quite a collector's niche. Well, there's so many niches out there, but pins, I'll tell you what, especially political pins, right? The older political pins, because that's literally what the history of these pins is. That's how they started. This fly thinks it wants my water and it can't have it. Put my napkin back over the top because I don't share. Midterm elections on the 8th. Politics are high. Got to get never even thought about that. You're right. There's one in there. I sent a picture to Jeremy. Just cracked me up. Jeremy and I were talking earlier. I will show you it because it really just made me giggle. It's and it has nothing to do with who it's about. It just was the pin. I mean, people get vicious. Jeremy, did you take that pin and keep it after I showed it to you? Oh, this one right here is hilarious. And this is a metal clamp pin, but it also has, okay, I'm working with, let's see, a camera that doesn't like to focus. What does that say on the back of it? Doesn't say anything. It's just, it actually has a union label on it, but this is hilarious. Recall, remove Reagan. So, I mean, they could put anybody's name there, but I just thought that was kind of funny. You had a friend who bought an old house to tear down. There was an old tarp full of pins from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. I sold them for her on commission. So, yes, we're going to look at that. We are going to look at that. Let me move these out of the way here. Okay, so let's have some. There was junk too. Oh, I bet there was. Yep, I knew you did, Jeremy. You thief. All right, let's have a little history lesson, because you know that it wouldn't be right if we didn't have a little history lesson. And I want to go to, I didn't pull this one up. No, let's do it this way. Well, of pins. There's so many different ways that you can look things up. Here we go, pin back buttons. Let's look at Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has some pretty good pictures over here that I didn't see on the other sites. So let's just read a little bit about it. A pin back button, pin dash back button, or pin back one word button, or pin button, button badge. That's what that one, the Reagan one I just showed you, is a button badge. Or simply pin back or badge is a button or badge. You guys got that? Holy moly. Let's see if they have pictures on all of them. Just that one is a button or badge that can be temporarily fastened to the surface of a garment using a safety pin or a pin formed from wire, a clutch. Let's see what they show us for there, a butterfly clutch. or other mechanism. This fastening mechanism is anchored to the back side of a button-shaped metal disc, either flat or concave, which leaves an area to the front of the button to carry an image or printed message. The word is commonly associated with a campaign button. And this campaign button here was one of the first known ones that they talk about it down here. The first design for a pin back button in the United States was patented. That wasn't the first one, though, in 1896. And contemporary buttons have many of the same design features. So, and we can look at this. Here's different designs. And you see how this pin hangs out. This one doesn't. They changed that. They had to change that. I can't remember when they officially changed that. If you know, I'm sure. I want to say it was in the 70s. It might have been earlier than that because people were stabbing themselves. Buttons have been used around the world to allow people to personally promote or advertise their political affiliations. In 1787, Josiah Wedgwood of the Wedgwood Pottery Dynasty, Wedgwood cameos, right, ordered the production of the Wedgwood anti-slavery medallion. It's beautiful. To promote the British anti-slavery movement to the House of Commons. This is believed to be the first use of a slogan on a product and a forerunner of today's political campaign button. So that was in 1787. The original was a stamp for wax, but the image was later reproduced by Wedgwood as a porcelain cameo. In the United States, since the first presidential inauguration in 1789, George Washington's supporters wore buttons and printed with a slogan, "Keep FDA off the farm." These early buttons were sewn to the lapel of a coat or worn as a pendant on a string. Some of the earliest campaign buttons to feature photographs were produced to promote the political platform of Abraham Lincoln. And that was that one that was right here, I believe. We saw up here. Benjamin S. Whitehead patented the first innovation of the design in 1893 by inserting a sheet of transparent film made of celluloid. So that is something that really makes the earlier ones even more valuable, is that celluloid that covers the outside of this one. This one's not going to be celluloid because it's too new, but that piece of plastic that goes over the top. To protect the image from scratches and abrasions. They also used that celluloid piece to cover ferrotypes and daguerreotypes, which are a certain types of photographs, if you didn't know. So you'll find old photographs, little ones that are covered with those too, and they were worn as jewelry as well. Let's see. Whitehead had patents for various designs of ornamental badges and medallions, previously patented as early as 1892. Another patent was issued to Whitehead and Hogue on the 21st of July for a badge, pin, or button, which used a metal pin anchor. And here's the patent. A lot of algebra in there that means nothing to except for to the person that wrote that. Other improvements and modifications to the basic design were patented in the following years by other inventors. Early pinback buttons from 1898 were printed with a popular cartoon character, the Yellow Kid, and offered as prizes with chewing gum or tobacco products to increase the sales. These buttons were produced with a concave opening on the back side, which provided space to insert advertising. So this spot right here, see how it's right in here? They would have put some form of advertising in there. In 1945, the Kellogg Company, boy, read the history on Kellogg. We got schooled at the Rose City Vintage Fair by a gal. Anyway, I'm not going to go into Kellogg. Mr. Dr. Scientist Kellogg, man, was a horrible person. The pioneer in cereal boxes inserted prizes in the form of pinback buttons into each box of Pep cereal. So Pep was a brand of whole wheat breakfast cereal. So that was in the 20s, 1923. Pep pins have included U.S. Army squadrons as well as characters from newspaper comics. There were 5 series of comic traders and 18 different buttons. So there's quite the history on buttons there. Did anybody put in Jen's channel? Thank you. Did I miss anybody? Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer. I can't click there. I'm on the wrong tab. And Marie is here. Who else did I miss? Courtney is here. Okay, so in the description, not that one. Maybe is it the link here? It's the link in this one. A message in a button, a dive into the University of Connecticut pins and button collections. This is in the description, the link to this right here. It's an article by Christian Carter, and he talks about wearable insignia can be traced back, and it goes right back, and he's talking about all of that. Washington's inauguration coat in 1789. The coat he wore to the event purportedly had custom engraved buttons, the type used to fasten clothing, with an eagle motif. Because it was such an exciting moment, the story goes, metalsmiths created similar buttons as souvenirs to commemorate the occasion. Where is my... Here we go. The final patent that gives us the prototype of today's pinback button dates from July 12th, 1896. And there is a whole history. This link is in the description about Whitehead and Hogue Company and how they started and what they did and all of that good stuff. These are the guys and their early patents on the buttons. And it talks about the button department right here. What I didn't see is, I want to say that it was in the 80s, the 70s, or the 60s. It might have been earlier than that, when they changed the length of the pin on the back of a button because they were dangerous. People cannot be allowed to protect themselves. Is Mama Beth in here too? Hi, everybody. So see how this pin back sticks up? See how the pin sticks out? People were poking themselves. And see how this one doesn't? It hooks underneath there. We cannot be trusted to not hurt ourselves. Nancy's. There are several that help identifying and dating. Oh, yeah. Military buttons, you cannot just identify. If you guys want to learn about military buttons, go over to Don the Auction Professor. He will school you on all of them. I'm sure there's other people out there, but he's the go-to guy on military buttons. That's something that he sells a lot of. You remember poking yourself many times? And then, you give somebody a hug and you poke them with it. And then the hat stick pins, which we wore stick pins on our shirts in the 80s, and they had the little safety thing that you stuck on the end of it, but they didn't have those for a long time either. So I guess it's like McDonald's coffee being too hot, because it would be... Hey, girls. I don't know which one of you it is, but if you guys, let's see, what time are you guys on tomorrow? 11 Central? Let's Do Lunch podcast. The girls will be on. Angie, Kristen, and Rachel Strickland. Do you guys have a I'm going to try to be there tomorrow. Do you guys have a special guest this week? Let me know. The book Don recommends for military buttons is like 200. Well, he's got like four different books. I have one. Doing it wrong. Team LDL on tomorrow. Aha. When they fell off, became kebabs. I missed something. I miss a lot. Anyway, so one of the other, let's go back over here to this one. This guy had a little bit of information too. Celluloid pinbacks, a type of button, were popular from 1890s to the 1940s as a cheap way. And when he's talking about celluloid, he's talking about the plastic that goes over the coating. Like this one does not have a coating on it. And I don't know if that's coming in because I can't really see. This one is just metal and painted. And this one is just metal and painted. But this one, even though it's still older, it's got that little piece of the pin sticking down there, does have the celluloid, and it would have been put in a button machine. No sales tax. Let's see. A lot of times you can get the date and what this was about will be printed. This is no sales tax league, Milwaukee, Oregon. It does not have a date, but it's been around for a little bit because there is. I have two of these, and I'll have to look them up. But this one right here is from the Hoover and Curtis 1920s, I think, whenever he ran. This is really cool because let me see what it says. On the back side, it has Green Duck Company, Chicago, patent February 3rd, 1970. Let's see if I go out of here. Anyway, this is linked in the description too. I'm going to go out of, it might help if I have my screen on the right one. Let's go back here. I'm going to see if I can get this over here so that you guys can see it. Hi, Baba Wally. How are you? See that? That's pretty darn cool. I've been working out in the yard. Can you tell my hands are in horrible shape? Hoover and Curtis. I looked this pin up really quick. Some people are selling it for $5 or $6. Some have it up to $28, $25. They're all over the board. I think if you, hi Maria, have a bunch of these kind of pins and you can get them down. Here's McCarthy. If you look on the sides here, you're always going to find some form of printing. I'm not going to be able to get that close enough for you guys to see. This one basically is the Union label on it. One of them is the Union. They're both Union labels, and I do not think that the camera is going to cooperate. Let's see, so that you can see that. Almost guarantee. If we wait, we'll see. Nope. Anyway, Twitter, Facebook, casino pin, you got probably. I was thinking so too. Do you remember? I was looking at that. I should have pulled it off, but I wanted to leave it. That casino pin, where was that? I was thinking that same thing when I saw it. Here it is. It's not that old because it's Chinook's Casino. Follow us. There you go. And of course, all of these have to be fixed because that's pretty good. Follow us on Twitter and become a fan on Facebook. You know, you can take these pins and fix them however you want to. Hi, Kristen. How are you? Yeah, pretty funny. There's some pretty good pins on this thing. Jeremy and I were talking earlier because we were talking postcards, and I sent him a bunch of pictures of these. I was like, check some of these out. Anyway, so, but you would be amazed. Of course, this is where the brooch came from, right? By making jewelry with wearable jewelry that just wasn't on a necklace. So there's a couple on here that are pretty. Whitney's probably going to want this one. I'm having a feeling. This one is dated MCML XXX 1970. Is that right? Highbrows American greeting. Happy Halloween. Kiss me. I'm fiendish. That's hilarious. That's pretty good sized. I thought that was a pretty good one. Anyway, and then they're so random, it's not even funny. It was like wherever he went, if there was a pin, he got it. This one should be, I would like to think, since Chuck E. Cheese is Chuck E. Cheese is no more, isn't it? Or are they still around? There's a Chuck E. Cheese one. A lot of, probably too late to list that one. You could, I knew it, Whitney. I knew it. This one's for me. Now here, there's Vancouver, Canada, Expo 86. Let's see if I can get some of these off. I'm going to take them all off anyway, so pay attention. This is welcome to the something annual Meetup Baptist Conference. These little pins right here, especially if they're from, maybe they're a pin from a work pin, like he's got Special Dad, but there's also a Teamsters pin on here. There's a United States soccer pin. Maybe it wasn't this one that he had one on. Holt International, that's somebody that he worked for, I think. This one is McCory's Stories 100th anniversary. For our 5-year anniversary at Freightliner, we all got a pin, and it was 14 karat gold. It was just this little teeny tiny pin. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is Alfred E. Newman is on that right here, isn't he? Right there. And then, he had badge a minute. Here you go. If anybody who happens to be a Little House on the Prairie fan, that the badges, the pins on here are just so random. It's not even funny. There's somebody out there. Hi, Angie. How are you? There's somebody out there. There's something on there for everybody. And then whether it's a pin or it's a pin back, right? This is a pin back. These could be called pin backs too. Here we go. Oh. E.T. phone home. So a special dad. He was a special dad. Everybody has a special dad. All these little pins right here, whether they're worth money by themselves or not, you can get all of the ones that are the same and lot them up and sell them in a lot, right? How you doing, Angie? What did she say? You can't be late. You cannot be late. This one is probably one of my favorites. I'd like to say my son would like it, but I think Whitney would like it more. And it's an old one. It's Duncan Lass. I'm going to assume, look at how long the pin is on that. And they put it on their little, not only does it have a pin on it, but they got a safety pin on it too, so that you can you can double dip on the getting stuck. Put the link in, one of you girls, feel free to put the link into tomorrow's show. That one's cute. It is cute. It is very cute. Oh, so $2 for this one, and there's a lot of older pins in here. From your area where you live, that you've lived most of your life, is anybody familiar with the Jansen brand? Jansen. Jansen. Anybody familiar with that? Any clothing sellers in here? I have a video where I went to an estate sale that was at a warehouse in downtown Portland with Terry Mindful Recycle. This little swimmer right here, any of you clothing resellers should know that little swimmer. Vintage Jansen Clothing will have her on there. And that's a good brand if you find the older vintage Jansen swimsuits, or the men's short shorts, who wear short shorts, right? And then you could go from the political to the funny. Oh, wow, this one's got to be... I mean, I could just spend all day here. Royal London Wax Museum. We're glad you're here. So are the wax creatures. Yep. Vacation Bible School. This is a sticker. This is an older one. Because, see that? Let's see if it's got a date on it. It's got printing on it. 1980. The Standard Publishing Co. So in 1980, they were still making these ones that were too long. Can you... Let's see. Let's do this. See if you can see how much longer than the pin that is. I don't know. Maybe I need to do that. There we go. I'll get it right in a minute. Just give me a second. Vacation Bible School. So whether these are worth much on their own, there's a whole grouping of these over here. But what I'm going to do here is see how far my cord will go without spilling my water, because that would be... And let's go over here, and also, let's see how far I can go. That is it. I might have to bring this closer. Hang on, you guys. Bear with me. I want you guys to look at these, because there's some on here. I could never pull them all off. There's some on here. How many of you guys are buying ephemera? Should be buying ephemera. There's 21 of these. Check this out. This is the coolest cover I have ever seen. A silver tray with a witch, and look at those spoons. Couldn't help myself. All right, let's pull this over here so you guys can look at these. Because I think that'll give us enough room. He even has a Dutch Bros coffee one on here. All right, that will work. Let me pull this over here. There's a lot of money in pins, right? Let's start up here at the top. Awesome Adventures. So that would have been this one right here. Oh, this was good. Shazam! Gomers on Video. Astro Boy. I don't know why there's a necklace on here, but it's nothing exciting. Annie, Own It Today. There, I see Wilma. I see Martin Luther King Jr. That's a cool one. Yes, I have gas shock absorbers in we all have gas, so don't even try to say that you don't. Keep Reagan in office. There's a lot of cool political buttons on here. Turkey of the week right there. Get a Cinderella lithograph. There's a bunch of Disney ones on here. Here's some more. 75th anniversary of what? The Book It pin. Candy Cane Cash, the Scratch and Sniff. There's a few different ones. I want Roosevelt again. They're just McDonald's. I dig St. John's. That's that bridge down at the bottom is the St. John's Bridge over in Portland. Shop Steward. We're moving to Jansen Beach. Kids are special. Look at the celluloid pumpkins pick back there. But here's a whole lot of Vacation Bible School pins. And you're not going to be able to tell just looking at these what they are. Now down here you come. You've got a lot to live. Jesus has a lot to give. And then there's one of the ones that just clamps onto your shirt. There's these ones down here. That's Knott's Berry Farm. That's a Disney one. Can you tell? Back up a little bit. I'm trying to watch the screen too. Free Willy 2. College of Science. Yes, I'm a vet. Go Fly a Kite. I have a feeling somebody's going to want that one. I'll take this one off of here. I can't let go of this. Let's see if I can get that one off. I Survived. Sorry, guys. Montezuma's Revenge, Knott's Berry Farm. That's an old one. And then, let's see, am I too close? Not close enough. I'm going to, there we go. I Survived Montezuma's Revenge. Now look at all the pins on that ribbon. This is a Teamster pin. The blue one. There's a Disney pin. There's a Disney pin. That's Tillamook Ice Cream, the bus. And then there's another Tillamook one I saw down here. If you're from this area, then you know Tillamook Ice Cream. So, American Art Museum, right there. Megan Mills. United States Census. All kinds of very cool and interesting. Look at, there's President Reagan on. Do you see him hiding back there waving at us? All smiling and happy because he's not. Sherry's Strawberry Pies. Oh my. All right, let's see how I can do this without making a mess, because that's what's going to happen. Something got me. All right, that was Life Begins at 40. I'll let you know. I think I'm past that. It could have been. It could very well have been Curious George. It's going to take a while to go through those, but it'll be worth it. Hi, Annie. Annie, you snuck in here. Hey, girl, how you doing? I've missed you. All right, let's go over to, let's go check these things out. Right here I have it. Oh man, apparently life begins not after 40. let's check this out. I have just vintage pins and buttons. That's all I put in. I have it on price plus shipping highest solds for right now. And a lot of these have been auctions. 16 bids, large lot of political, look at Roosevelt, large lot of political and presidential buttons, pins, antique and vintage, 1936 on. These little things that they have these in, these are actually, you would put quarters or whatever in them. This kind of goes back to what Jeremy and I were talking about earlier. He has bought some collections of postcards that have been curated, and he has decided to, with help from other people, and I agreed with him too. Here, right here is Ike and Dick, but you can see that it's like this. It's one of these that has the metal piece that comes up. They had nice handwriting. And then you have singular ones that you can sell. This is an issue. That's what did anybody put that in it? Gravity begins at 40. Oh, I thought it was like 2 when you started walking. Something like that. Are you going? I'm going to let somebody come and go through them and take the ones that she wants. And then I'm going to see which ones will sell better by themselves, or I may just lot them up and sell them that way. Big vintage Disney dollars and miscellaneous buttons lots pin. I have a bunch of Disney stuff in storage. I have more Disney pins in storage. But these ones that are like this is the best way to sell these pins right here, is to lot them up. These pins down here, usually you can get more for, but they may have already figured that out. This would be, what did this go for? $85. That's not bad. How many, does it say how many are in here? No total. That I don't know. I wouldn't buy it, but somebody may have bought that for themselves, and they may have bought that to resell. You can find a lot of deals on here, right, you guys? Is BCP in here? Hiding out. He snuck in on me. The monkeys. Now, this I would not have sold like this myself personally. I would have done one listing for each one of these pins and sold them one at a time. Or I would have taken, what is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds. You could make a lot of 6 and put those together. So they sold, does this even say how many there are? Original pinback buttons. How do you get away with that? You guys put a number in your listing so that people know exactly what they're getting. That's asking for a 9 ad right there. Vintage Whitehead and Hogue State Bank. Would you guys have known who Whitehead and Hogue were if I hadn't talked about them in the beginning to give you a little history on pins? Do you know who Whitehead and Hogue is now? Right? They're the people that patented this. That is an amazing pin right there. Only $76. What did they start it out at? 99 cents. Not something I would ever recommend doing. Starting something at 99 cents. Here's a vintage 1950s state of Connecticut fishing license medal holder and a Hogue pin. Hi, Muriel. Hi, Tina Lou. Life begins at 40 pin, one sale. Oh, wow. I better put that one over here. Hey, Karen. Karen. I am a Karen. Hey, Janet. Thank you so much, my friend. Sweet fine. Hi. You're following me from Rebel and Cat. Love all the info you provide. Thank you so much. This is amazing. I have seen a few similar to this. Those old boxes in the garage that nobody really wants to dig in. If you have the ability to go to a sale with a really good friend who loves you, that'd be Marie Perlette. Marie is about the only one that I've gone to some sales with Terry, but we drive separately. Terry Mindful of Recycle and other people. Here's the deal. I like to dig through everything. You might miss something like this. You might miss something that nobody else has a clue what it's worth. You may miss all kinds of things if you're not looking in the boxes. People, the estate sales around here are they just never stop. And I'm not saying people are dying. I got something in my eye. There's probably some dust off of one of those. I'm not saying people are dying, because people are just downsizing. They're moving and they're having an estate sale and getting rid of all their stuff. Especially if it's a family run estate sale. They don't want to go through all that. They just want it gone. So they just put stuff in boxes, or they open the garage up. There it is. They've taken out of there what they want, and you have to look. So if you want to find the cool old things like this, you got to go out to the garage. You got to dig through the old yucky looking fishing stuff, fishing tackle, and that kind of stuff, right? Marie, she's ratting me out, you guys. But it's true. That's how it is, and that's why I don't really go with anybody. Buffalo member, is it hot enough for you? Hi, Admiral Cigarette. Pay attention to these. There's probably a bunch of here that aren't anything exciting, but there's a bunch of them that are really super cool. And so $10 for the whole thing. I couldn't believe my eyes. I went and asked the lady. I said, are you sure $10 for that whole thing? Look at some of these. Here's a Little Mermaid 1989 promo. This is on Comic Character Pinbacks. He's got a review and he's got a site. Erie Magazine Fan Club, 1940s Radio Orphan Annie Secret Society Decoder Pinback. David Bowie Gross Germany Pinback brooch dated 1965. This is actually a brooch. Did I say gross? Oh, it was gross. And they're calling it a pinback. Here's, who is this? Vintage Naked Girl. You can have it. Militaria. 3 vintage original Smokey the Bear. I saw some on there. So they're showing you. Here is another little Orphan Annie. Original 1930 Al Jolson and Mammy Warner Brothers pinback. These ones are up for auction right now. Now let's go and look at some of the ones. Here's the Beatles, 1964. World's Best Ballastite and Empire smokeless powders. I want a Wonka, vintage Willy Wonka. Do you guys? There's a lot of new people in here, and I haven't showed this for a while, so let's do this. If you sell, and that green line going through there is very irritating to a lot of people. So if we do this, let's copy and paste just the title right here. Copy. Let's go back over here. Go to your seller hub. Go right here to research, product research. And you paste that title back in here and hit research. And you're going to come down here and you're going to see that pin. And it's going to tell you right there exactly what it sold for. That pin sold for $44. See how it had the, let's go back here where it's, let me do that now because I did. See how it has the green or the black strike through. Let's see if it shows it down here. Oh, if I do this, it might. See how it has the strike through there? Because they accepted. Right here it tells you best offer accepted. When somebody shows you that and says, well, it sold for $59.99, but it has a line through it. No, it didn't. They took a best offer. You could guess it sold for $59.99, but what if they took a best offer for $39.99? Well, that right there is how you figure it out. So if you have access to Seller Hub and you want to see what something sold for that somebody took a best offer on it, if you follow me on Instagram, when I sell something for a best offer, I write in there, when I do my post of what I sold it for, I literally tell you what the offer was I accepted on it. And then I always tell you what the total sale was with tax and shipping and everything on it. But if you didn't know how to do that and you're looking at things, that is how you look up something to see what kind of a best offer they took on that. Also, if you guys didn't know, let's see if I can pull this up. I did a short video, and it's not a short. It's not on the shorts. On how to, let's just go here. Oh my goodness. Of course, it's not going to be like right. It should have been right there at the top. Let's go to, let's see if it's, should have been right. Maybe it's here. Right here. How to access Terapeak on your mobile phone. Bring Canada. All right. So there you learned 2 different ways to, am I muted? Oh, I probably didn't. I'm muted over here. That was just a whole different screen. Can you grow dandelions in-house during winter? I have a bearded dragon who loves them. I don't know. I don't know why you couldn't. You could probably grow them in your garage if you had. I didn't mute myself. I just wasn't talking when that was going. I wouldn't want to talk over myself, just over everybody else, you know. You probably could grow them in your garage and just make yourself a little greenhouse tent type thing, or have a tabletop with some fluorescent lights. You don't really need grow lights. You don't know if you don't try, right? That's what I say. So anyway, that is how you, I think I screwed myself up when I went into this. Sorry, you guys. I'll get back here in a minute. There we go. There we go. That is how you find a price on something that has a strike through, where somebody took your video, didn't play sound. Are you serious? That whole video played and it didn't play sound? Arr! All through the clip you showed was muted. That's ridiculous, because it was playing over here on my computer. All right, well, go find that video on my channel. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it's better than when I share my screen, and I'm not sharing my screen, so something had to go wrong. Go find that video on my channel, and that'll show you vintage Huntress. There you go. There you go. Here's the link. Oh, Jeremy put it in. Thank you so much, Jeremy. And because personally, I don't use Terapeak for a lot. I do use it to look up best offers. I do use it to do some product research and stuff like that. I have WorthPoint. WorthPoint goes back 9 years, I think. Now everything that's on eBay, I don't always find on WorthPoint. So, and I love WorthPoint. I'm not dogging on that. I love WorthPoint. If anybody ever needs help and I have time, you can message me, and I will look a price up for you on WorthPoint. I've done that for many people. It's expensive, but it's worth it, especially if you sell upper end items. And one thing that you have to keep in mind when you are using WorthPoint, I need to come back down here and do this, because I keep looking up there so that I can see you guys, and that's not where you're at. One thing you need to keep in mind when you're using WorthPoint is they're going to give you a price that could be from last year, because Terapeak is a year, could be from last year, and it could be from 9 years ago. And so you have to really be good about adjusting that price and looking where it's at, because the market fluctuates just like bell bottoms come in and out, right? It could have sold for whatever item it is you're looking at, could have sold for $200 in 2013, and then it could have sold for, hi Janine, it could have sold for no, I mix Janine and Laurie up all the time. Sheep picker and Chicago lady. I was talking to you about it the other day. But hi to both of you. I'll cover my bases, even though I got egg on my face. I was talking to somebody about it the other day. I don't remember. I don't even remember what I was saying. WorthPoint pays for itself 100%. If you guys don't use, price wise. So 9 years ago, it could have been $200. And then 6 years ago, it could have been $1,000. And then 4 years ago, it could be back down to maybe $80. And now it's coming back. Now whatever it is coming back in to be highly desirable. Another thing to keep in mind when you're seeing those price fluctuations like that, how many of these items have sold over the years? Because it could just be that somebody wanted to sell it and get rid of it, and so they didn't value the item where it should have been. They just needed the money, and so they got rid of it. Does that make sense? Yeah, something like that. Courtney can tell you exactly how much it is. She talks about it all the time, price wise. But it'll pay it. It will pay for itself sometimes with just one sale, just by being able to use it. And they have an app. They have a mobile app, so you've got that on your phone. You know that you can take that with you too. So it's it's kind of, I'm going to say this, not picking on anybody because I've done it to myself. It's kind of, I'm trying to find the right words to not offend anybody, not cuss words, but just trying to find the right words. It's kind of ridiculous to make a bad buy anymore unless you are somewhere where you have no access to internet, right? I was at an estate sale last week, and there was one room where if you stood in the right spot, you could get internet. Well, Terry, Mindful Recycle, she ended up staying home because I was in her neck of the woods, and I had texted her and asked her if she was coming, and she said no. So pretty soon, I texted her and I said, "Can you look this up for me?" And I sent her a picture of it, and she goes, "Sure." She goes, "Anything else?" So I mean, that worked for me. And how many of us wouldn't even think about that? I didn't really, I could have texted my son, but who knows, Terry was working right there in her office, or, she was at home. So I guess I could take Jeremy off the screen. How long did it take you to get all those pins on the, I bought them like that. It was $10 at an estate sale, the whole board. $250 now, you think? I bought them today, Jenny. So if you do not have service where you're at now, I don't know how many of you guys follow Troy at Mountain Man Treasures, and things may be a little bit better now, but I was in Billings, Montana when I did welding inspection, and I traveled from Pocatello, Idaho to Billings, Montana to Wyoming and Washington, Idaho, Oregon, Arizona. There were lots of places you didn't have service. And I've seen people comment on some of Troy's videos that he should be doing better. He should be looking things up and stuff. They don't have service in Montana in a lot of places. I don't have any affiliate links yet because I'm not in the affiliate program because I screwed up applying for it. Don't tell Courtney. I gotta do it again. But you can. Yeah, drop Courtney's. Drop it like it's hot. That's all right. I'm good with it. I'm all right. I'm a sharing kind of person. Courtney does a lot for all of us, so she's the last person that it would upset me if you dropped any kind of link for her. You were just in Pocatello. Ooh, that's not what I called it when I was there, but people there are amazingly nice. Anyway, so Noelle may have one. I probably do. I don't know. I have a headache just thinking about it. I cannot tell you guys how important it is to do research. I don't care what you have. I don't care if you got a little Guernsey cow creamer. What else do we have here? That I don't normally. Oh, here. Something I have for Justin. Something I have for one of my friends. Marie, did I give you yours already? I told him I was going to get them the set one day. Marie, did I give you yours already? This one's Justin's. I found it the other day. I don't care what you're looking at. You got to do some kind of research, or you got to know. You got to have an idea, right? Yeah. Do I have a worth point link? Like, as in a link to I don't have any affiliate links. None of them. Nothing. We'll have to talk about it later. How about this? Would anybody? I know what it is. I knew what it was when I saw it. Courtney probably knows what it is. Anybody else? You have yours? Okay. Well, I have Justin's. Anybody? Thanks, Jeremy. Now, see what you did? Now Courtney's going to be letting me have it all the time. Like strawberry shortcake comb. Probably $10. Might not mean anything to a lot of people. But some people love these little smalls. And some collectors, somebody out there is dying to have this. And someday I will list it. Right now, it's sitting up there. It's a comb. It is a comb. Strawberry shortcake comb. I have a box of stuff for my friend Jody Toy Addict. Now she loves strawberry shortcake, but she loves other things too. So I have a box of stuff, and so lots of times I'll just send her a picture and I'll ask her, "Do you have this?" Because if she has it, then I sell it. But most of the time I send her pictures. But the importance of doing your research, because it's amazing to me. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you why you need to have things like Terra Peak, why you need to have things like Worth Point, why you need to spend a few minutes, why you should, if you are at a place that doesn't have service, take pictures. If you don't know, take pictures, get in your car, drive to wherever you can find service, and then comp those things and come back unless you feel confident that it's a good deal. I bought something in a $5 fill-a-bag sale, estate sale a month or two ago. I'm hoping you guys can still hear me because I'm going to climb up on a ladder to get this. I almost sold this the other day for $12 on a live sale. And then I was like, you know what? Let me look at that real quick. And I did this is a menorah, and it's not just any menorah. It's made by a company that's, I will, Courtney, that is very highly sought after. And after I did a quick Google search before I offered it up, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to list this one. Made in Israel, but see that number on there? And it's Dayagi, I can't pronounce it. Dayagi. See, Courtney, you're not the only one. All of us have problems pronouncing things. You guys better lay off Courtney, or we're coming after you. She's my friend. This thing is worth over $500. I have it listed for $559. It sold twice. It sold to the same person twice in Israel. I don't ship to the Middle East. Somehow my business shipping policy got messed up. So I canceled that sale twice. Oh, I canceled it once. And then eBay so nicely relisted it for me, even though I asked them not to, because I needed to fix it because I did some more research on it. Do your research. Do a good job at your research. I thought I had this listed high. I didn't. And I wouldn't have known it if two different people from eBay, people I don't know, sent me messages and asked me if I knew how much this was worth. If I hadn't looked on WorthPoint, I couldn't find this exact one. The 1445 is the number on the back of it. Same with these things. No, don't be afraid to ask other people to help you for research, especially if you know somebody. There's plenty of us that have WorthPoint that will look a few things up for you here and there until you can afford to get it for yourself. You can do a free trial for a little bit. Say you have a bunch of stuff, you have a whole bunch of stuff, and you're going to list it. Sign up for WorthPoint for their free 7-day trial or whatever it is, and use them to get all your stuff checked out. At Bull Buddies, congrats. What did I miss? Okay, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, get a hold of Courtney. She is doing a challenge, a bingo challenge. And she will get you the information that you need to do the challenge. You will need to go to you want them to contact you on Instagram. Contact Courtney. I need help. I haven't slept very well the last couple of nights. Contact Courtney through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, but I think she's doing this one mostly on Instagram. And she will give you all the information. Basically, there's a bingo. I don't want to say too much because you got to contact her. Just contact Courtney. You're going to videotape it. And we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. It's just a fun challenge. It's not for prizes, or nobody's going to be voting. Well, maybe people will be commenting, but there's already a lot of people that have contacted Courtney, and it's open to everybody. You don't have to be a member of her Bolo Buddies group or anything like that. You just got to go to the bins. You just got to get a hold of her for what you need to play the game. And I got in trouble. I put a post up on Instagram, and there was something on there that wasn't supposed to be on there, so I had to take it down and cover it up. So that's what happens. That's what happens when you know too much and you shouldn't know too much. You get yourself in trouble. Anyway, contact Courtney. This is going to be fun. I believe that she is trying to get everybody to have their video done out, and you can do your video any way, shape, or form you want to. You do not have to list your items before you do your video. So you can have somebody else video you while you're digging through the bins. Is Terry here? Hey, girlfriend, I think Terry and I might go together. I'm talking with Robin from Dumpster Diva. She's over here in Portland. She's a hoot. I've followed her for a long time. As a matter of fact, I sent her messages a couple of months ago, and I told her she needed to start watching Courtney's videos and stuff like that. And what do you know, out of the blue, here comes a video with Courtney, a challenge video between Courtney and Robin. That was exciting. So I think Terry and I might go together to the bins and do our video together, because we both need to help each other. Terry, have you done a what sold video yet on your two cool things? Oh, please put your link in Terry got some amazing items, and she's sold 2 of them so far. Yes, we will go to the bins together. So, pins. Brooches are considered pins. They are a pin back. I am super anal, you guys. Whether or not everything I have, as soon as I get it, gets put in plastic, especially if you have something. These are all going to come down. They're going to get wiped off and they're going to go in plastic bags. They can't get any more damaged. You don't like the bins in Waterloo, Iowa? Where are you, Tina Lou? You're right in the middle of editing it. Ooh, ooh. That's okay. Drop your channel link so that people can go watch, because Terry is a super high-end bolo finder, and she's got, if you guys want to learn some cant video at your bins, you can if you're crafty enough. Where is Kristen? Are you still in here? Kristen, her roll squirrel. Ask Kristen how to video at the bins. My friend Lori down in Florida wears overalls, and she has a spot cut in it for her camera to look out. Oh, heavens. Anyway, so these are all pin backs, right? Brooches, down for the count. I probably shouldn't show this one because it's supposed to be going to somebody. These are all pin backs too. And you will be able to tell one that's vintage, even if you don't know. Let's see if I've got one. This one, let me see if this one's a little bit older. You will be able to tell they're vintage because that pin is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to stick out there. I don't know if you can see it or not. What did I do before? Let's see if this helps. I got to figure out why my camera. There we go. Can you see it sticking out a little bit? This one is probably from the 80s. You can even start dating these kind of pins. You think you have that cat to list? I think that cat's going to somebody who's quietly watching. I thought I had one that really had a long pin on it. That's why I pulled that. This one actually is marked. I believe this is the same maker as the one I just showed you. These ones are 1980s. They might be late 70s, but they both have longer, and I think they're both made by the same, I'll tell you who they're made by. Maybe I will. Can't read that one. Can't read that one either. Not a good enough. Unless I take them out of the bag. So here it is. This one you can tell is vintage. I can tell is vintage. I'm not going to assume you guys know anything. Any link for Courtney? Courtney, are you still hanging out? You want to put your Instagram? Wait a minute. I don't have Instagram pulled up over here. Put your Instagram link. See the length of that pin? And it would be even longer, but somebody took it and they pushed it down in, so it's shorter. That will help you get an idea on the. I'm having all kinds of problems. That would be fun if you guys, if there's a bunch of you that you know live close enough to each other that you could go together and do. Kristen, a rural squirrel, does that with a lot of people. They'll all go together and do some type of a challenge or just have fun, right? It's always more fun if there's another person. So you can have these kind of vintage pin backs. You can have, where did my thing go? These kind, which people will use for tie pins too, even though anybody who sells pin ties would just shriek at the thought of somebody putting, this is interesting. I wonder if it's gold. Nope, no marking. It is a, looks like a genie lamp on some books. Waterloo, bin, trip, and lunch. All right, you guys got it. Everybody contact Vintage Huntress. Are you on, how come there's a couple of you? I thought I caught you guys on the last. I do go through and listen to these. I see there's a couple of people that are not. I allow pretty much everybody after you've been on my show in the comments a few times to be blue, because I want you to be able to drop your link or somebody else's link. I think I got you guys. All right. Everybody contact Vintage Huntress for a meetup, bins trip, but you got to get a hold of Courtney to get the playing card. You're in Iowa, but 2 hours from Waterloo with a day job. Well, get a hold of these guys and figure out when they're going. Do you have Instagram, Vintage Huntress? Do you have an Instagram you want to drop the link for in here? I made you blue. You should be able to drop your link. And then you guys can, and by the way, hi Jupiter, how are you? And you're not blue either. You are now. You have bins. You just have to travel 6 hours. Chrissy over here whining. Oh, I can't. You got bins. You just got to travel. Oh, you make it out here. Iowa has 3 bins that you know of. I've been to the ones in Cedar Rapids. The Portland, Vancouver metro area has 4 bins, and they're all good. My favorite one, obviously, is the Vancouver one, and it's not because of where it is. It's just chill. My next favorite one is in Milwaukee, and then there's one right. The one that's the worst to go to is by the airport, because IKEA's right there. That's just a dangerous trip all the way around. And then there's one in Beaverton, and that's where Robin, the dumpster diva, that's where she does her shopping. And if you guys know Wade from Wade's Ventures, that's where he goes when he goes to the bins. And just so many other people around here that a lot of people go to the one in Beaverton. It's pretty good sized. The one at the airport isn't huge, but they're all good. I mean, there's all kinds of things to be found, but my favorite one to go to that's in Oregon, which I'm literally a mile from the border, from the Columbia River where I live now. So, oh heck, Jupiter's been dropping shorts. I'm gonna have to go watch some of those. Do you yourself collect pins that are written in German? I'll collect. Well, I don't really collect a lot except for dust and stuff. I have some stuff from Switzerland. We had an exchange student when in between my junior and senior year in high school So I will collect Swiss stuff. I will collect some Swiss things that have um, uh, uh, that kind of. There's like 5 different dialects that she speaks. She speaks Italian, she speaks French, she speaks German, she speaks English, and then there's an old Swiss dialect. So there's all those different things, but they came over here when Dren was born. She and her husband did, and she had a cowbell made for me. I had one like it here on the counter here. They don't have fenced fields in Switzerland. Their cows roam. So they all will have, you have about 3,000 vintage fishing lures. Oh my goodness. Went to a huge fishing estate sale today. I hate dust. I hate dust with a purple passion. I don't want to dust. So that's why you'll see almost everything that I have that's listed. I washed it once. It got listed and it got put in plastic. That's a Fenton hobnail Burmese crimp top 10.5-inch vase. I don't want to have to do it. You were a collector at first. You became a seller as a necessity because you weren't going to stop. Well, and it's true, but yeah, we all watch don't. I have a lot of stuff in my house that I have listed. I enjoy looking at it. I have it. I have some artwork hanging on the walls. I have stuff in my china cabinet, and that's the safest place for it to be. And I get to enjoy looking at it until it sells, right? So that's one of the coolest things about our job is we know I almost bought these 2 bowls today, but they were $30 a piece. They're selling for about $60. I won't go back on Saturday or Sunday. We're supposed to be insulating my house. It's not going to happen. I can't get the insulation I need. Anyway, so when you come upon collections like this, it's so funny because I walked in. I wasn't the first one there. People were buying stuff like crazy. I don't know what time it started, but when you walk into a collection like this, it's kind of like the same as seeing a box full of postcards, a box full of Dooney and Bourke purses or Monster High or whatever it is. You see that whole thing and you're like, if you're anything like me, how much for all of it, rather than, and I think that they didn't want people to just pick a few, because when they let you do that, guess what? At the end of the day, you go wandering around the house to clean up so that everything's set for the next day, and you're going to find 30 of these people have taken off and sat around, right? So not only did I get all of the pins for $10, but I got that cool cork board, which I will use. Your walls are covered in unlisted inventory. Enjoy the heck out of it. That's what I say. $10. Look at right there. I looked at it twice. Oh, I guess it's not stuck on it. Hey, there's a Portland Timbers. $10 for all. So that's something weird. Like a balloon. Something you hold a balloon down with. Hey, there's one on here that says juror. Anybody need to be a juror? All of these have some worth to somebody. There's another one of these on one of those ribbons. this isn't that far back. It's funny, I have a whole nother tray of political buttons. Clark, this is an older one. This one may very well be celluloid because it is it's got the plastic over it. Monster High is now on generation 3. Let me just tell you, Amy knows her Monster High. She knows her Monster High. You have all your dad's pins from his world travels while working for Tektronix. Well, too bad he didn't have some of his computer and stuff anymore. We've talked about that. The Rusty Bucket is Chrissy, and she is one of my friends, and that is who we got. All of these political buttons, the more you have, the better off you are sometimes plotting them together, like ones together, and making a lot. Unless for me, it would be less time consuming to do that than it would be to, I could probably pick out a bunch of them. Like I would probably sell this one alone. Herbert Humphrey, maybe. Some of these I will sell alone. Ron Wyden for Congress. Some of them I will lot together. It's just easier. It's easier to do that than it is to. This one will totally. This might only be worth $7, $8, $9, $10. I won't list any of these for less than $14.99. Does that mean that that's what I'll get? No, because I send offers out and I have best offers on. But that's what. If you follow Don the Auction Professor, you will see that he lists his stuff high. Sometimes he lists it 3 times higher than what anybody else has on it, because that's just what he lists it at. He takes he does the same thing, best offer. Just because something's listed for a certain price doesn't mean you're going to get it. But if you don't ask for a high price, you will never get it. Someday I'll have some merch that has that on there. You get what you ask for. What does Dren say? You get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? All right, you guys. Did I give you any extra bolos this week? I feel like I did, but maybe I didn't. I'm looking to see what I can find to give you next. Oh, hey. This kind of stuff. This kind of stuff. Okay, this is a keychain. It is a Swiss cowbell. It's just a tourist piece. And how do I know it's just a tourist piece? Because it's got that. It's almost like the souvenir spoons, right? But this is what the cowbells look like, and if it's a calf, they're shorter, and they're made specifically for each animal. So our Christine is what her name is, Christine Valsen Giacomo. How do you like that one? Yeah, you can share whatever you want. Absolutely, that's as long as it's not indecent exposure stuff, which I find it hard to believe that any of you in here would do that. That's why you're blue, so that you can share stuff. And that's the whole point of these videos on Thursdays, is for all of us to come together and share. I don't know everything about what my topic I may have picked is, but I know enough. And I try to have enough time to set aside to do a little bit of research. And then I like to read some of that research to you guys. I don't want you to just go, oh, there's links in the description. No. I got the nicest comment today from Peter Combs. Peter Combs is an expert on Asian artifacts and stuff like that. If any of you watched my video on, what was that called? Let me pull up. If any of you guys watched my video on your channel, it was my Let's Talk About It video on Asian. Let's just do this. It wasn't that long ago. At least I don't think it was. Seriously? Live. There we go. Let's talk Asian antiques and collectibles. Let's talk about it. I don't know if it was this video that he left me. Oh, boy. You guys hear that? All right. Mute myself. I don't know which one he left. Yeah, today. He came in. Thank you for your kind words about our site and channel. It's very much appreciated. Best regards, Peter Combs. That to me, because I shared that information out to many of you who had no clue, that is the biggest thank you that I could get from any of you. So drop links, share things that I don't know that you might know. I'm sharing things that I know that you might know. That's the whole point of this Thursday. Let's talk about it. It's not me just talking to you. And that's why you guys are all blue, because I want those of you who are able to be here to participate and to be. Bye, Glenn. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great day tomorrow. Quaisane, is that what you're talking about? Jeremy, I want you to be able to participate and be active. And so don't feel like you're going to, if I made you blue, you don't have to ask. So if you have something that you know about that is okay, that pertains to what I'm doing, or if I ask, like Jeremy's really good, Doug is usually on it too, putting it in. Lulu, when she's here, will drop links to so I want you guys to share. This is my thank you to you for supporting me, and for me to be able to learn. We cannot all know everything. There's just no way. But the more that we have other resellers, the girls are doing their Let's Do Lunch podcast tomorrow. The more that we have other resellers that we know we can go to and talk with or hang with or learn things from, the better it is for all of us, because we are all co-workers and we are all learning, and we all need to know that there's people out there that are going through the same trials and tribulations as we are, and they're just a click away. Some, a lot of you guys are stranger friends. That's okay. A lot of you guys I know, I've met. So that's it. I've given you guys some history on pins and pin backs. Go search them out some more. Look at them differently. I've sold little tiny pins from local radio stations. We had a radio station here in Portland that was KGON. It was a rock one. And then Z100. That was the station to listen to when I was in high school. And it was the station to listen to when my kids were in high school. And their stuff, the Z100 Morning Zoo, their stuff sells like crazy. So don't think that the little local things around you. I see a lot of people not pick up snapback hats because they have just a local company on them. Well, that local company was owned by somebody. Somebody will find that hat and buy it. I promise you. Will it be a $20 or $30 hat? No, it may only be a $15 hat. But a lot of those kind of hats you'll get for 25, 50 cents, sometimes free. And hats take just a few minutes to list. If you have a, you can sell similar off for one of your own, and then everything's already self-populated and you don't have to change hardly anything, right? So I don't like to list stuff for a small amount. Plus I leave myself room to run a sale. A sale of up to 30% should I choose. I leave myself whatever I add into my price. What am I going to run a promoted listing for? What is the tax and shipping going to, what fees is eBay going to take out? And what if I want to run a sale? So I take all of that into consideration when I price my items. And I'll tell you what, I haven't ran a sale for almost 8 months, and I haven't had a lot of people. Most of my sales have been full price. Let's just do this. Most of my sales, most people will not do this, will not take you into their seller hub and show you their numbers. They got to cover this. They got to do this. Let's just do this all orders. Wow, this is loading slow. I literally listed these last night and they sold overnight. This one I took a best offer. I had it listed high. I couldn't find it. I could not find it to make a comp. Here we go. Here's that menorah sold twice. All of this stuff, if you see a 99 after it, has sold. This one is sold, but I'm about to cancel it because they didn't pay, because they're in like they're in a weird country and he hasn't paid yet. So all of these sales have been full price. All of them. This one wasn't. I had this one. I can't even believe this sold, to tell you the honest truth. There you go, you guys. I had this listed for $89.99, and I had it listed for about a year, and they offered me $30, and I was like, somebody really wants that? Because sometimes I'll list stuff just to see if it'll sell. So, because I want you guys to see that I do list the stuff that I talk to you about. I do list weird stuff. I do list things that many people wouldn't even think about listing. Here's my screw up. I haven't had a screw up in a long time. I sent the wrong flower to this person. I'm sending him the new one right now. I sent it out today, and he's sending me the old one back. Super nice people. That's my screw up. But all of these items here, I have not ran a sale. Now, I would be making more money if I ran a sale, right? I took a best offer on this. It was $14.99. It went out for $13. So price your items up. Run your sales. Don't run your sales. Oh, look, somebody sold some quince. I don't know. I'm not gonna complain too much about bad sales. I have a couple of people I whine to when I've had a bad day or whatever. Hi, Hozak's family. But the fact of the matter is that if my prices weren't as high up as they are right now, I'd be selling like crazy. If I would just run a sale, I would be selling like crazy, because that's what my model was. My model was set up very much like Cat the Nurse Slipper, because she and I sat ours up together quite some time ago. And we used to talk like all the time, and life got busy. But we would do the same sales, and we would talk about, our sales and the what the promoted sales were doing and what the organic sales were doing. We'd go over. Do you guys do that? Here's another thing. Since we talked about some other stuff, here's something. I just got a nasty message from another eBay. Oh, she thought my description was too close to her wording. I had to go in and revise it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You block her and you move on. Do not make let other people tell you how to run your business. If she didn't like the wording that you had in hers, she could have changed hers. That is her problem. I hate bullies. Let's go back here. Something that you guys, if you don't pay attention to this right now, then you need this. Oh, wow. This is from the guy I sent the wrong flower to. And he left me positive feedback. Sorry, I just now saw it. Oh, I'm going to cry. Absolutely wonderful seller, very understanding and accommodating, meticulous shipping, care, and communication, and superb transaction. Item is exquisite, better than described, a perfect product that would make my daughter smile, would recommend buying, dealing with vendor with no hesitations. And this is somebody I sent the wrong item to. You guys, it takes very little to make people happy. It doesn't take much to piss them off. Seller level region. How many of you guys actually pay attention to this? Right here. How many of you guys know this exists? This little seller level region. I'm not a huge bully. I make my daughter pull my sales and she's saying it's bullying. Oh, sorry. That's hilarious. Oh, I can believe they reached out. All right. How many of you guys know about this? How many of you know to go in here? It will tell you your current seller level. It will tell you what they would evaluate you at today, but you need to click on here. You must pay attention to this, and you really need to pay attention to this during Q4. That's where you're just going to get wiped out. Or if you live in an area, say Florida, where they had the floods and the hurricane and everything, or a tornado or something like this, late shipment 2 of 705 puts me at 0.2%. But I want you to look at this. Very few people. This just went down today. This was 100%, and this was 27%. So something happened, and I'm not going to fret about it. It's very hard to see. It's very uncommon that I have seen somebody that has zeros on as many items. So top rated. If we evaluated you today, your seller level would be, now you can click in these and they will, and it'll break them down. Current seller level, want to know what the different seller levels are, and it'll tell you why you're there. If you fall below average, you're done. They will bury your store. They will bury your listings for almost a year because of all of these different items right here. Past seller level, current seller level. I went too far. Let me go back here. Okay, top rated. Transaction defect rate. You open that up. Then you want to go in here and get your full report. You guys should be looking at this once a week, because it's going to tell you this changes every 3 months. Transactions with defects, transactions removed. That means you canceled an order wrong. You lost something. Never, ever, ever cancel an order for a lost or broken item. Always try to deal with that person. You only get to go below a certain amount. And then this one right here, your transaction defect rate, I could be wrong. I think, yeah, it takes a year for them to come off on this one. All right. So then you have a late shipment rate. Top rated, 3% or less, and you start getting dinged. Transactions that weren't shipped on time. Could have been my fault. Tracking indicates late delivery. You see here, you can go in. This is from November 21st through October 31st, 2022. That these take a year to come off, a whole year. So what did I get? November 26th, September, Oneida Community tracking show indicates late delivery. That's why mine went up. This November 26, 27, 27, these won't come off till after December. And this was all during Christmas last year when it was so bad. So they never should have been on here in the first place, but I didn't fight with them about it because they went in and they took a bunch out. But even if eBay comes out and tells you guys that they're going to remove this stuff, they don't always get it all removed. There's less of them than there are of us. We can whine and complain. I almost said a bad word, but good night. Your internal alarm is 4 a.m. Thanks for hanging out. Note that negative reviews aren't a metric. Correct. They are not. Your feedback has nothing to do with your seller level as far as above, top rated, all that stuff. You just need 20 more sales to qualify. Woo woo. Well, you'll have it. You'll have it here soon. So pay attention to these. If the buyer says, like, I can go in here. This is what they will do. This was an amazing sale. I actually sold this on, I don't know why they're dinging me for this on, no, this isn't the one. I sold another set this last weekend for $200, but I sold it on Bonanza. So what you can do is you can go in here and you shouldn't even have to do this. It should. I'll just pull that up again. View order details. Okay. This is what eBay will do with you. I have eBay concierge, so I just call them. I would have to slit my throat if I had to do their messaging system. This is what they will do with you. They'll go right into this and they'll go track the package, and they will see when it said it was supposed to be delivered, when it was scanned in. I don't ever stay and wait at the post office. Never. I never get a package. I never get a thing. I don't have problems. I've been doing this for years and I'm still not going to do it. So those of you that do, you feel you need to, good on you. That's what makes you feel good. Paid September 21st, shipped September 21st. Oh, really? I don't have same day shipping, but if I'm in here, if I'm working and they order it before 4:30, it gets shipped that day. Delivered on Friday, September 30th. That was a pretty fast delivery, personally. But somewhere in here, it should tell you time placed order. It should tell you where, I forget. eBay tells you how long it was supposed to take to deliver it. So tracking indicates late delivery, and that's not on me. That's not on you guys. It was, so I can call eBay and talk to one of the people. Here's the thing with Facebook for business. A lot of the stuff that's done there is bots. So if you go in to try to have a negative removed on Facebook for business, more than likely they're always going to tell you no because it's a bot. I would kill my internal alarm if it did that. That's hilarious. And she would too. So if you have a negative and it's a bad thing, all I can tell you is do your best to try to go through, call them, have them call you, do whatever you can do to get a real person or even a real person through the Facebook for Business. Because I shouldn't say Facebook for Business, because if you go in and try to deal with a negative or something like that through the messaging system on here, they're almost always going to tell you no, because they're bots. And that's what they're programmed to do. So don't get frustrated if you have a negative or something like that and you feel like you got a robotic response, because that's exactly what you got. Deal with that kind of stuff as best you can. Trying to, if you can get them to call you back, if you can go on Facebook for Business and wait your few days. I seldom have to get a hold of them. And now you can go in here and you can pull everything up and you can download it so that you have it, right? All right. That's late shipment. Then you have cases closed without seller resolution. You do not want to have any of these. These mean somebody asked for a return, somebody canceled an order, and you have so many days to deal with it and you didn't, and eBay had to step in and take care of it for you, and you will get a ding, a ding, a ding, a ding, a ding. Take care of your stuff. Take care of your stuff. This is part of your business. This is part of your housekeeping, part of your bookkeeping. Because when I see people make posts or videos about how they lost their top rated or how they lost this, the one thing I think of to myself is, did they know about this? Because there's no training. eBay doesn't train us on their on their stuff. And you guys know that have followed me for a long time that if I'm going to talk to you about something that has to do with listing something, that I'm going to read to you the policy, and I'm going to try to pin it in the description of the video, because eBay does not. I've talked to many people who have sold for years and never knew anything about any of this. And if you can go in and you have, if we evaluated you today, get full report, right? If you go in here and you see a long list of these and you see the orange, you have, I can't remember if it's 30 or 90 days to contact. 90 days. After 90 days, they cannot fix anything. It is locked and loaded, right? 90 days. Keep that in your head. I want everybody to go in and check this at least once a week, but I want you guys to all go check this out. Good night, and thank you so much. So, did you sell? You did? Sold a set of Japanese vases that Noelle helped me price high. That makes me feel good. Case is closed. I have none. I take care of I don't have a lot. Tracking uploaded on time and validated. So, this one has got to go with, and it's going to tell you, oh, this one, I just dropped that off. Not uploaded at all. Uploaded on time, but no carrier scan. Well, there you go. I dropped that off at the, let's see. Let's see where it's at now. View order details. Sold this puppy. It's been delivered. So what I will do is this is something you guys got to do. It might just be one. I don't have very many defects on this particular. I have one defect here. And brought me down to 99.28%. That should have been a 0 or 100%. I knew one of these had changed. And I will call eBay. Oh, sometime in the next couple of days. I may have a few things to talk. I have to talk to him about my son's store. And I'll just have them take care of that. But if you go, oh, it's just one thing, and look, I'm still 99.28%. Well, tomorrow it could be 5, and the next day it could be 8 because their system's down, and it doesn't matter. If you don't take care of the 1, that means that you're not going to take care of the 5. So this is super, super important, because if you don't keep your numbers up, then eBay has no reason to put your items out there and to give you better places and to help you, right? They want people that have low numbers. I have helped several people that were below average. My son, this is how I know, my son was below average, and they ghosted his store for a whole year. I mean, I ran promoted listings. That's another thing. If you're below average, you can run sales. You can't do promoted listings. I don't even know if you can run sales. I was constantly adding new items to his store because he was down in California and I was running his store up here. But he got it into that situation before I was taking care of his store, and I couldn't get it out of the situation. And that's when I really found out about all of this. So I think it's a good idea to share this, even if I just helped one of you. Did you know you can check your other regions you ship to for selling? Yes, you can. There's also, did you guys know that you have a different rating for international? If you sell international, that eBay also rates you these different rates for international. You can check other regions you've shipped to for seller rating on that page. They also do this top rated plus, below, all that for international. Yep. You have to click on the help under your name and go through the prompts. There is no help. Which help? At the top, you just click region and you see your options. Look at, is it in the account settings? I don't know that I've ever looked that one up, but we'll do it together. Is this what you're talking about, Jeremy? Business permissions, payments, history. Or do I need to be back in the seller hub? Go back. Oops. Down here, help. I need to go over here. Oh, region. Is that what you're talking about? Region USA drop down. Region USA drop down. Aha. Above standard for UK, Ireland. They took me off of above. Yeah, I was top rated for a long time. Transactions and sales. And I can't remember region global. Do you see all of this? I don't know if you can be top rated for, I don't know if you can be top rated when you're selling internationally, because it's very obvious I have no defects on any of my international stuff. So thanks, Jeremy. See, we all learned something today. I knew that they rated you for those. I didn't know how to check them. However, there's a tutorial here. We changed the way your seller dashboard looks to make it easier to understand how we evaluate you as a seller. So you can go through that tutorial, but I'm telling you guys, pay attention to this stuff. Check it. I check mine daily. I literally check it daily. It takes 10 seconds, right? It literally, how many clicks? Let's do this. Let's start at the beginning. You're in your seller hub. Doon. You go right down here, seller region, top rated. You can tell right here. If you're looking at this every day, I told you guys that something was different, and it's this one, and I will have them take care of it. So there you go. This one won't go 0.28%. I mean, that's for what was it? Two out of 705 transactions. So if 2 out of 705 transactions is 0.28%, watch yourselves. It's super. This is one transaction, and I'm at 99.28%. If you go 3% of your total transactions, can be super easy to do. No, I don't know if it does or not either, Jeremy, but you know, these things, you guys, I feel like I'm being bossy by showing them to you and telling you that you need to look at them. But I also feel like I know there's a bunch of you that might not have any clue. And if I can do something to help from keeping you from going below standard or even average, because I'm telling you guys, it takes a long time. Once you lose your top rated seller and you get above average and then you're below average, I don't think there's an average. It's top rated plus, and that's just because you're doing free shipping, or not free shipping. You're doing free shipping. So I could do top rated plus on 403 of my items, it said, and I don't have to offer free shipping. But I won't do free returns because I just won't. I feel like my products are good. I don't have a lot of returns. And I can only think of 2 items that I've had returned internationally, that cases were opened up, and I worked with the buyer and got those taken care of, because nobody wants to pay, you know, whatever it is. I had a set of really cool vintage cups that I don't know if the Italian soccer team had fun with them or what, but 3 of them arrived broken, and I just asked her, I said, do you want to package those up and send them back? And she said no. And I said, I am more than happy to just, you know, I'll do the math and however many broke, and we'll divide that, and I'll just refund you for those. And she goes, well, it wasn't you that broke them. She goes, they're very well packed. And I said, doesn't matter. We'll just deal with that. So, you know, making your customers happy and getting feedback like that for people to look at. East Coasty checking out. 6:30 comes early. Good night. Thanks for all your help, Jeremy. I appreciate you a lot. You guys follow him. Before you leave, drop your Instagram. Please, Jeremy, you guys got to follow him on Instagram. If you're on Instagram and you're not following Jeremy, he does not go by doing it wrong on Instagram. And I just cannot tell you. Danielle, how are you? You're not normal. You guys, what is late? I'm telling you. Just giving you a hard time. So hopefully that helps keep some of you guys out of trouble over Q4, because that's where we'll see it a lot. But that will also hopefully keep you out of trouble if there's a natural disaster and you have problems and you see. Thank you. My Vintage Rescue is Jeremy on Instagram. You guys go look him up and just go back through some of his stuff that he's posted. Oh my goodness. I know it's 11 there. It is. Did you sell your trailer, I hope? If I was closer, I'd just come stay in it. Danielle and I would get in trouble if the two of us lived too close to each other. Anyway, all right, you guys. If you have any questions or you need any help on anything that I showed that has to do with Seller Hub or anything like that, you messed this up and okay. I messed this up and it screwed my rating up. First international sale and the buyer gave bad delivery address in Israel during COVID. He complained. I got dinged, his fault. That is why I canceled the order on that menorah, because it was going to Israel and I'm not shipping to the Middle East. I have shipped to the Middle East before. How long has that been, Desert Fairy, since that happened? If it hasn't been more during COVID, you said, never mind. They should have taken that off. Because a bad delivery address isn't your fault. Anyway, that sucks. So, always reach out. If you have something like this happen, feel free to reach out to me. If I can't answer it, I'll find somebody to help you. I really, really will. There's lots of people that really know how to deal with this stuff well. That, I can call eBay and ask them questions. I will. Months ago, yeah. So keep your eyes on your seller levels and all of that, especially through Q4. And let me just tell you something. A lot of people talk on and on and on about how Q4 is the best. I personally think that January and February are lots of times better than Q4, because a lot of people get gift cards and money for Christmas. And they spend that over the next couple of months. So there you go. All right, you guys, thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. Go check out Courtney Bolo Buddy's Instagram. I want to see as many of you that have bins near you. Do this. Do you have bins near you? Danielle, can you find some? I want to see you guys do this. It's going to be great fun. All right, I'll talk to you next week. Bye.